Hey, you need some R&R. You need some R&R. You need some R&R. You need some R&R.
Radio, RaNdOmNeSs. Radio, RaNdOmNeSs.
Is this thing on?
Testing.
Test.
Yeah, it's recording. Well, I know it's recording. I think that little mic part is... I don't know why it does that. Because it doesn't do it when you stop and start again. It's just when you first turn it on, it's all like...
So, for those of you watching, Mark is wearing merch.
I'm wearing merch.
Our brother shirt, which goes back to the OG days. Furman.
And I was trying to think, even when I made this shirt, how that came about. Do you remember? I kind of vaguely remember, but I don't know if it was any kind of like specific details. I think it was just...
yeah, there's this song. I don't even know who sings it. It's like, brother, hey brother.
I think it's Avicii or whatever.
Avicii, maybe, possibly. But we were kind of like, I did this thing called torture singing. And it started with my mom, where I would just like sing the most annoying way possible, just to see what she would do, you know? And she's like, Raven. But yeah, we were just torture singing at work, and Mark joined me one day. And then our girl Nico joined. Nico Jew Heard. She has her own shop, so check her out. And it just became a thing. Like,
oh, you'll have to give me the link so I can put it in the description, since you
I'll have to
just
find
shouted
it.
her out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just became a thing, and then it turned into like a response to some issues.
Yeah,
like okay, brother.
Yeah, what? Okay, brother. And then like I'm very like anti like things, people making a big deal about things that don't matter. So I feel like you calling me brother, they're like, oh, she's a woman, why are you doing that? And I'm
there was a couple old-fashioned people.
Yeah, like, what do you mean, brother?
That didn't understand why I was calling her brother.
Yeah. So, it's...
Don't worry about it, Bob.
Yeah. Bob would just pull his pants and say, oh, no, that's all.
Him at the end of the aisle, I love you, Bob.
Yeah, Bob, we love you. We miss you. But yeah, that was like our thing. It was kind of really it was a joke. But we're brothers. We're brothers now.
It's just part of our friendship, relationship that's now ingrained in there. So when we started the podcast and started merch, and I was trying to think of a couple of the, I guess, prototypes or whatever you want to call it, I put them on like archive. But yeah, this was one I was like, well, we gotta have a brother shirt or whatever.
I like it. I like the bright green. It really is like something
else. Yeah, it comes in all kinds of different colors, obviously.
That was a good choice.
Any color that you can pick, and I think on our T-shirt website, Teespring, it's the default display is the orange one.
Yeah, that's what I saw. That's why when I saw that, I was like.
But I was like, I wanted to go kind of extreme, but not the orange one.
Yeah.
So I was like, I got the neon green.
And we have some hoodies up now for all of you who said you wanted long sleeve hoodies. They're up. Everything. There's mugs, decals.
Yeah, a couple different mugs, a decal, and I think and then all kinds of hoodies and T-shirts with all our official logos on them.
Yeah, our official logos are dropped too.
And that's all Raven. She designed all the logos.
Whatever. It was fun. I liked doing it, and we're gonna like drop them separately for something to put on Instagram later this week.
Yeah.
But yeah, check out the merch. It's always in the link to the video.
Always.
Even if you guys just want to look, share it. Maybe someone.
Yeah, and it's just if you're type of I know I'm the type of person, I'm always up to support certain people, and if it means I get like a T-shirt for it, then that's even better because I like T-shirts.
Yeah, Mark.
And I'm having to
buy the album.
I'm having to explain all these different shirts that keep coming in to my wife because she's like, she always knows when I spend money. Come here. Beautiful, beautiful. Good job, babe. Keep working on it. Good.
But yeah, I mean, support the merch. But moving on.
What else are we moving on to? Well, I can't keep going until we explain the sunglasses.
I don't... Look, it's just my vibe for the day. Last night, Kanye has this line. Sunglasses and Advil. Last night was mad real.
Okay.
So
that's good enough.
Let's leave it at that.
That's good enough.
Let's leave it at that. Last night was mad real, and that was a good day in my opinion.
Good night.
That was a good night, good day. Zephyr Hills knows how to party, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, this is just. I mean, I got in the car. I thought of that line. I put the sunglasses on, and I sent out my morning snaps. All the people that I Snapchat in the morning, every morning. So I sent them that, and then I just left them on because it was a vibe, you know?
Yeah.
Vibe. Plus I'm like partially blind, so this is kind of fun. I'm like a whole different person right now.
Are you really?
Yeah, I have glasses. I'm like, I have astigmatism, so I'm just like...
No.
I broke the vibe. But yeah.
So well, if you need energy, I have some Raze Energy.
Oh no, I have energy.
Oh, you do?
I have energy. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie though. This was almost a Skype call. This was.
I kind of had a feeling when you texted me. Like, I don't know, 7:30 or 7.
No.
Usually when you're on your way and
at that point, I knew that I was coming. But I'm like, I need a second to pull myself together.
Because usually it's a little bit earlier where you tell me you're on your way, and this time it was, I'll be there by 8:30.
Yeah, I was like, well, no, because I was telling Dom, I was like, Mark's going to be so mad if we have to do it on Skype. But, like, no. I woke up, like, at 3 o'clock, I was, like, dead to the world. And then I woke up at 5, and I was like, I got this, we're okay. So yeah, here we are. This is fun. This is it. This is life.
Well, that's a good segue into the Raze Energy thing. So that's a new
thing,
new thing, new ways to support us and get some Raze Energy at a discount. And I mean, I don't know if I wouldn't call it a sponsorship. It's because they have the option. It's basically called their ambassador program. They're a newer energy supplement company, so they, energy drinks, same as Monster, but then they have other types of supplements for working out and getting energy. They have, actually tried it last night because I don't do energy drinks or sleep aids often. It's usually twice a week after I've worked late at Domino's. But they have like sleep aids. This is called Hypersleep, which normally what my normal routine is, because I work late Tuesday night and I get like no sleep. So Wednesday morning I'll have an energy drink, usually Monster.
Yeah.
Then Wednesday night I'll call it an earlier night. I'll take something to help me sleep. It's usually melatonin, and because I don't like chemicals too much.
Is that not a chemical?
Melatonin? No, it's melatonin is supposedly what's in turkey that makes you so sleepy after like Thanksgiving meal.
Okay.
So it's like a natural, and then what I have is like they're little tablets that just like basically dissolve on your tongue. Well, it doesn't knock you out like a normal sleeping pill. It just kind of
makes you tired.
And usually that with not getting enough sleep the night before helps me sleep. But I take it because it helps me like get a solid straight through sleep, and it helps me fall asleep because if I'm going on almost no sleep, if I'm going on no sleep, then it's even harder. But if I'm going on like 4 hours of sleep, like I'm tired, but I'm almost to the point where I'm so tired, it's hard for me to fall asleep. Because like my eyes hurt, everything hurts because I haven't got enough sleep. I don't know, I'm twice as old as you, so it affects me differently. So I like to take something that's going to help me kind of relax and fall asleep and stay asleep. So, and then the next day, usually what I was doing on like a Thursday or Sunday, depending on what it was, I would have another monster the next night because I was groggy from sleeping so much. And that was kind of my routine. So I wanted something a little bit different. So when I had the opportunity for Raze, I checked it out. So I tried them out last night for the first time. They're hypersleep. I hope that's not coming up on the mic. It probably is. So I'm sorry. She's 4. So Melody, quiet, babe. I did like the way it tasted. I liked the way I slept, but I woke up like 3 different times last night. And one of those times, my mind was like on, and I started thinking about stuff, and then I couldn't shut it off for like 2 hours.
Dang.
So it's like not kind of the best sleep after taking something to help me sleep, but I only took half the packet too, so I don't know. And then this morning they gave me, these are some samples they gave me. I took this Atomic Energy, and you just mix it with water.
Oh, I hate those. My mom.
I generally don't like them. I generally like just the canned energy drink. Just go ahead and I don't like mixing. But I do like that you take this with water and then you drink water throughout the day. So it does kind of make me drink more water than I normally do in a day. And I don't know how natural this stuff is, but supposedly it's like pretty natural. But there's all kinds of different things. I'm also part of the, membership. They send you like samples and new stuff once a month. So I'm going to do that to try different things. But there's a couple supplements that I ordered that I specifically wanted to try. Like ones to help you focus during the day and give you energy, which I need no matter what I'm doing. Something that's going to kind of help me zero in and focus. But all kinds of different stuff if you're somebody that's going to work out and need stamina or just normal energy, caffeine type products. So from now on, that'll be linked in the video, and that's a good way to get new supplements or energy type stuff and support the show at the same time. Anyway, I forgot what I was. I think I just got segued in that because you're talking about I think Raven still has that natural energy.
Yeah, I do.
I think it's partly just you, and then part of you're still in your 20s.
Yeah, I think my favorite. Have you ever been around people that are like just gassing? You know what gassing up means? That are just gassing you up so much that you're just like blushing, smiling, and then your face hurts, your ears hurt because you're just like, oh shucks, but continuously just like, oh shucks. That's what happened yesterday. So our old boss, big boss, saw her. And
really?
Yeah, she was gassing me up, and then Diana was saying I have like a singing voice of an angel, and I'm like, since when? And she's like, have you gotten into your singing? And I'm like, I don't sing. Like, I'm a comedy person. I don't sing. And she told her husband. So then her husband, like when they were leaving, was like, I'm so sad I didn't get the opportunity to hear you sing. And I'm like, I don't sing. What are you talking about? Like, what? But yeah, just like them like just gassing you up to the point where you're like, you don't have to keep doing it. Like,
that's crazy.
I'm not that cool. I'm like, okay, I'm like regular or whatever. But like, but yeah, and I was just like, yeah, I guess, I don't know. Like, the feeling that just people just like love you, I got a lot of that.
I'm awkward in those situations. I don't know how to take compliments a lot of the time.
I'm just like, oh no, not me. Well, I mean, I guess maybe me, but like, I don't know. Kanye taught me that. But yeah, it was fun. It was actually Denise's housewarming party that I went to last night. So much fun. Fun. Good day. And she made her famous potato salad, which is like...
Denise did?
Yeah.
I do miss those potlucks.
Yeah. I don't know if it was a potluck. I know, like...
I know, but you made me think of, like, the office potlucks we'd have. Like, that office, if they got in the mood, they'd have a potluck, like, once a week.
Yeah.
For anything.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Friday again next week. We're going to have a potluck.
But that brings up the topic of, you can't just eat anyone's food.
No, you can't. That's very true.
Like, people who, like, let their cats lay on the counter, like, that's a no for me.
Yeah.
Do you let your cat lay on the counter?
I don't have cats.
But, like, if you did.
No.
Thank
no. When
God.
I used to have cats and they weren't
You
allowed.
look like a cat letter layer on the counter.
No.
No?
That's one thing that you would
Never see.
peg wrong about me. I did have cats, but they weren't on.
Get down.
At most, they were on like the couch.
Yeah, they loved to tell that story about the lady whose cat died and she just kept it in the freezer.
Yeah. True story.
Like, I heard that story so many times, and I'm like, that's one thing about people. They'll tell the same story like a gazillion times.
Yeah.
Because they don't know if they told it to you or not, you know?
I'm guilty of that sometimes.
Me too. Yeah.
You know what else I get mixed up on?
And
this happens a lot with you it's because I worked at that place different times and with different people, and sometimes it's the same people that just are always there and probably will never leave, and some people that come and go. So it's like I'll get mixed up in my mind, and I don't know if it's just me getting older or what, but like there are people that I'm friends with because I met them through there. And obviously we're friends because we met through there. But I'll get confused, like, and I'm so surprised that hasn't happened yet, that I'll probably mention somebody as if you know them.
Oh yeah, that happens all the time with everyone that
and then you're like,
there.
I don't know that person. It's like, oh, but they work there. It's like, yeah, but y'all work there at 2 different times.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Well, I'll get mixed up a lot. So that goes in line with, like, forgetting who you told what story to sometimes. But. So are we going to talk about Trump getting corona?
So I have 2 major conspiracies that go along with that.
Okay.
Number 1 is simple. He just really doesn't have it. Like, that's my first conspiracy. Like, he just, and don't, I mean, guys, if you want to go off, go off. Please go off in the comments, because, like, I'm down for it. But, I feel like number 1, and I'm not really on this conspiracy as much as I am the second one, but it was definitely my first thought, is that he just doesn't have it. They saw, like, bro, you couldn't keep it together for the debates. Do we really want to let you up there a second time? Or, like, this soon after the first one? Not really. So, he has Rona. My second theory is he's going to die. They're going to kill him. I don't know. I've been listening. I watched the Edward. Is it Edward or Eric Snowden?
Oh,
I think it's Edward.
I think it's, I don't know.
Anyways,
something with an E.
I was watching
E. Snowden.
I was watching his podcast with Joe, and he just made me so paranoid about
he'll do that.
About secret societies and all this. And previously, the one I was watching with Joe and this Bridget girl, she's pretty funny actually. They were talking about how JFK was talking about secret societies, and he got axed.
Yeah. Well, there's other theories on why he got killed too. I mean, one of them is that Lyndon B. Johnson wanted to be president. I don't believe that one. I mean, I know he probably did want to be president, but I don't think enough to, have JFK assassinated. I think there are definitely, 100%, even minor conspiracies going on with it, but I don't think it's a lie that he has it. I think he has it. I think it's a conspiracy that they're downplaying how serious it is.
Oh yeah, well, I actually watched, like, when he was going to the hospital, and I thought it was very odd that, like, the main camera was all the way across the street on the other side of the helicopter. Why are we watching that if we're not going to see him get
I got, on Twitter, because now since we started following the election and stuff, I am following, like, Politico and NPR and different, that 538.com that I mentioned, they have a Twitter, and, like, they're all reporting different stuff, and some of them were reporting yesterday about how, they did this press conference, and the doctor's saying, yeah, everything's normal, blah, 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 but then, like, right after, and, like, when people thought they was off the records, they were starting to say, like, it's...
Well, the question is how...
very high risk, and he's not doing as well as they said, and his symptoms are more severe than they said.
Well,
and, like,
how
people
fast
are kind of, like,
is the deterioration with that, though?
I think it varies on the individual.
Yeah, because, he posted that video on his Twitter yesterday, I think. But I didn't feel like that was filmed when they wanted us to think it was filmed. But then that's just me being a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, I 100%.
because he's like, I'm all good. I can't even.
I think because he's in the age range and he's in, his health and stuff is high risk
he's
already.
the age range of the people that we're flipping out for,
Yeah,
like,
but you know what I thought of too?
My grandpa can't have it, he's my grandpa. He's like a year older than my grandpa.
They're saying how, like, he's been downplaying it and this is going to work against him in the election and they're going to try to downplay it now that he has it as much as possible. So, like, they're going to try to make it seem as minor as they can, try to get him back, look normal as soon as they can, so he can be like, hey, I beat it. It's not that bad.
Yeah. Or they're going to give him the vaccine, which is another common conspiracy that I've been hearing. He's going to get the vaccine.
And so he can say, so it's not that big of a deal, blah, blah, blah. And look, we weren't wearing masks, and we got it, but we all beat it. And so then all the anti-maskers can be like, oh, see, now I really don't have to wear a mask and all this other shit.
Well, it's funny because it's not just him that's getting it, it's his whole camp.
Oh, yeah, it's all spreading now within his camp.
But one thing I found interesting from the debate is that he had one, like, in his pocket. He's like, well, I wear it sometimes when I feel like I need to. Well,
and that's what made me think is because I also saw that Biden, is sending his well wishes and all that, and he's also pulled all his negative ads against Trump.
Oh, really?
As a sign of, for him, it's like not, even though he could, and he almost has every right to, like, keep on being aggressive in his ads, but he's like, there's no...
He chose not... I can't even do a Biden voice. Maybe I should fall asleep and then start... He chose to do it.
He's choosing to, like, I guess, take the higher road and, not kind of kick Trump while he's down and pull a whole I told you so type thing. Which may or may not work for him.
I mean, he kind of did on Twitter.
The sad part is, he kind of did. Did you see Chris Wallace go off? He's like, wear a damn mask. And even that one of the female reporters, because it doesn't show which one, she's like, oh my goodness, like.
No, I didn't see that, but I
retweeted it.
I saw Joe's tweet. Like it was either the day of the us finding out, or the day after. Let me see if I can find it.
But it made me think that because I saw the report that he's pulling his negative ads, and if it was the other way around,
wouldn't happen.
And it wouldn't happen. And then if Biden got it, even with his social distancing and he's been following all the protocols and wearing a mask, Trump would be like, look, he's been doing social distancing, wearing a mask, and he still got it, and he would, drive down even more negative ads, even more the virus isn't that serious. So it's like, I mean, good on Biden for kind of pulling at least some of the negative ads or whatever and taking the higher road. Hopefully it works out for him.
I found it. I'm happy to report that Jill and I have tested negative for COVID. Thank you to everyone for your messages of concern. I hope this serves as a reminder. Wear a mask, keep social distance, and wash your hands. And I don't know, but like those three suggestions were like, Trump, really? Ha 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 ha. Like in my head, he's like, bro, it was so simple. And that's what I think too. Like everyone, we already talked about this when they're like, well, it doesn't really benefit me that much to wear a mask. But if you wear the N95 masks, you're better equipped. And if you're the president,
if you're wearing some sort of, they've done research too. Like if you're wearing some sort of some masks are better than others. Obviously, some if you're just covering your thing with a cloth. That's probably the least. I
lost my favorite mask.
You had a favorite?
Yeah, I got it from Goodwill. It was not used. It was in the front section, where you cash out. But I always wanted a black mask, and I found one that was it went to my face and it was perfect, but I lost it. And I'm sad.
You know what? I've tried different masks and stuff, and you know what's been my favorite? It's just the disposable ones. It feels more comfortable.
They're too itchy for me. They itch my face.
For me, it doesn't feel like it's pulling against my ears. It's comfortable on my face. I can get rid of it when I'm done. That's just been my thing.
I had this really nice mask that I got when I went to Ohio from this hippie store, but I don't know where that is.
I'm going to play this clip, but I would hold it up against so you could see it, but then you can't hear it, so I'm going to hold it up against the mic. But
if I could say one thing to all of the people out there watching, forget the politics. This is a public safety health issue. The President of the United States is in the most secure bubble in the world, in the sense that everybody who comes in contact with him has to take a test, and he still got it. So wear the damn mask and follow the science.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
the key takeaway.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. And I was like, that's what I kept watching that clip so many times, and I even quoted it when I retweeted. I was like, some girl says, oh my goodness. It's like, you're surprised at his response? Like, you're surprised that he's frustrated that, and I agree with your reaction. I wouldn't call his bubble the most secure bubble. Supposedly Vladimir Putin's is the most secure bubble.
Of course, he's Russian.
But
like,
Trump,
Mother
he
Russia.
was secure in the sense that they had to be tested when they were, coming in contact. But he wasn't social distancing. He wasn't wearing a mask. Just because you test negative doesn't mean that you're not carrying it, and can test positive the next day. And that proves it right there. He, somebody in his camp got it, and it's been spreading. And I think they were saying that she was at least showing symptoms days before she was tested or got positive, and they still weren't social distancing, and that's how it's been spreading.
Yeah. Well, she gave us hope. Am I right? Just kidding. Oh, yeah. Good day. I mean, not because of that, just like in general. And that's another thing. A lot of people are like, yeah, I hope he dies. I would never wish that on anyone, So I'm genuinely sincere when I mean, like, I'm not happy about it, because why would I be?
Yeah.
But it's crazy.
I mean, if it just kind of makes some people that were thinking it wasn't that big of a deal, or no need to wear a mask, or all that stuff, if it at least opens your eyes just a little bit, even one of his supporters or something like that, just makes a fraction of a difference.
I don't think it is. I got a lot of
I think it will for some people, but I think some others, like I told you, I have family members that their children got it and they still don't wear a mask. So it's like some people, it's just you can't wake them up.
This is America. I'll do what I want.
So it's like, it'll be interesting on what effect it has on the overall election. He'll use it to his, even if he loses, that, it's not fair. I was in the hospital because of COVID. Well, you didn't social distance and wear a mask either, so.
Yeah.
We'll see. We shall see. But I think Biden's playing it right by pulling negative ads and taking at least a little bit of the high road, and hopefully that works out to his advantage.
I watched a really good movie this week, which I thought was going to be absolute gutter trash because the CGI was kind of But there's this movie, it's called Gemini Man. And
I've heard about it.
It's Will Smith.
Yeah.
And young Will Smith, but young Will Smith is CGI. And it's really good.
Oh, I was at a friend's house. They had that going on in the background.
Yeah, it's really good. I liked it. It's a long movie, too, and I watched the whole thing. But 10 out of 10 would recommend, in case anyone's wondering. Because it looks like it might be trash, but it's really good.
Like, based on the previews or whatever, it looks like it might be trash?
Yeah, just because the CGI is kind of but, like, the movie itself is really good. Because, I mean, they had to, I'm not sure how they did it, if they took Will Smith, like, if Will Smith played young Will Smith, they just CGI'd his face.
I think so. I think that's how they did it. Which, you could have almost tweaked the script a little bit, or the character a little bit, and made him, like, even younger, and just had Jaden do it.
They don't look that similar. Like, Jaden looks more like his mom, I think. Both of them. Willow looks like her mom, too.
I see a mix in there.
Like, he looks a little bit, but he looks more like his mom. Plus, he's tiny. Jaden's small.
Yeah, but, I mean, if they're younger, you can account for when they get older and bigger. But that might be why it worked, because it might be just a different person with not the same facial features or whatever, and that's what might be why the CGI is not as good. Because that's what they did with Paul Walker when he died during. Oh yeah,
they used his brother.
They used his brothers, but if you can see pictures of him and his two brothers, and they're all like, I mean, you can tell they're brothers.
Similar. Yeah. So
when they transpose his face over them, it's already similar enough to make it, like, I couldn't tell a difference when I watched what parts were him at all parts was his brother.
Well, yeah, it's like that for me too, because like, especially when I was younger, my older sister and my younger sister, we all looked like kind of the same. But my oldest sister, who like I just met this year, we're like twins. Like we look so similar. Her hair's longer than mine, but like yeah. So it's like, oh, that's crazy. My face is out there. Like, you know, some people are like, oh, my doppelganger, but like twins.
That's how like my brother's 10 years older than me, but you can see like me, him, and my dad. Like you can just tell we're brothers and sons to my dad. Like it's crazy. I can see it more with my brother than I can my dad most of the time. I can see a lot of mannerisms from my dad in me. I can hear myself, my mom, and myself sometimes, and that part bugs me. Like if I say something a certain way or get onto my kids a certain way, I'm like, God, I sound like my mom, and I'm like, like it'll happen. It happens. Even if it's not kids, if it's to pets or whatever, it'll happen. You become your parents. It's inevitable.
You are who they are. Yeah.
Anywho, I can't think of anything else. We already touched on the two subjects. We talked about the merch and the Raze, the rep sports. That's all I had. And then Trump getting COVID.
Trump was my main topic. I did get us some new guests though. And
you did?
Yeah, one of them is Danine's son, and the other one
really?
is Danine's friend. Danine's son's friend. They're
so
both
in addition
cool.
to the ones we've already
Yeah, and we got some guests coming up. I gotta finish the studio so we can do our thing with Jamila.
Yeah.
And well, it's not that. I just have to finish painting, and I'm trying to figure out if I want to do like a couch like this, or if I want to get like chairs, you know, like lounger chairs.
Almost like I would probably say chairs.
Yeah.
Because like if we ever had, which you know it's possible one day, I've got a couple like artists that I'm still trying to schedule out. And I know at least one of them would come here because he already said I want to do in person because I said we could do Zoom if that's easier. And he's like, no, I prefer in person. And he's local to this area, so he'll want to do it here. It's like, how would I do that? It's like, well, either I would sit in that chair or something and we just change the camera angle. But then a lot of the guests, they're out of state, so those are going to be Zoom.
Yeah, they're out of state, so we already got like Skype set up. At least me and Josh. Josh's pretty cool. Michael's pretty cool.
I'm down. Like, cool. I mean, and as far as guests, like, if people out there that are interested, let us know. Because right now it's just a matter of having somebody on and just to chat with us. And if you have
interesting people, come. Like, if you are a psychic, let's talk about that.
Yeah. If you have anything that you do, any kind of art or anything that you want to promote, come on. But if you're just a normal Joe and a friend of ours or want to become a friend of ours, I mean, let us know. We're open to just kind of hanging out and chatting. Because to me, there's no, at least right now, no reason
chit-chat
not to, because
we're just,
back
fun.
in the old days of Joe Rogan, that's all he was doing was getting his buddies hanging out and talking. And a lot of times that just makes for interesting conversation.
I agree.
And I think that's some of the reasons why I'm getting some no's when I reach out, because I'm just reaching out to people that I follow on Twitter, and maybe we've tweeted each other from time to time, and I'd be like, hey, you want to be on the podcast? Some of them are just not responding. Maybe they're busy. Some of them maybe they're too shy. I saw
some of them in the DMs.
Yeah. But it's like, for me, it's like, if you're just...
Shoes? They're out there.
Yeah, I'm just, however, let's hang out and chat on the podcast and see how it goes. That'd be interesting.
I know, and Michael was like, what's the topic? What's the topic? I'm like, there is no topic. What do you want to talk about?
That's what one guy, I don't know if I still have the text. I think I do. Because I had to reset all my texts because I was running out of space. Yeah, I do. His response was like crazy. This is the dude that I work with at Domino's that he's really into it. I said, you know, we're looking to have some people on the show. Are you interested? And he's like, yeah, but it depends on a few things. It's like, what do you have, like demands? You have the contract writer or whatever. That was I was like, what? I was like, okay, like what? He's like, well, tell me the details that I need to know, and then those will probably answer most of my questions. I'm like,
what?
So I was like, there's not any details or specifics. It's just, you come on the show, we can chat about whatever you want to. If, well, I'm sure I told him that we'd probably listen to his music before, so we can talk about his music.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, if there's, some things that you feel would be off topic or lyrics or something you don't want us to bring up, let us know ahead of time. But otherwise, it's just, you're basically coming over, hanging out on the show, and we're just chatting. It's like, but really the only specific is like, hey, don't bring this up, or don't ask me about this, or, I don't want to talk about this. Let us know ahead of time, and so we don't mention it, but otherwise it's just hanging out. Literally just hanging out, whether it's virtually or in person. And he's like, he's been working on an album, I think a full-length album. He has a couple demos out, but he's working on a full-length album. So he's like, and that was his other question. He's like, if I come on now, will you allow me back when my album drops? I was like, dude, it's not a one-time thing.
Yeah.
It's like we could always come back whenever you want. It's like, so, but now he has COVID.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, so I don't think it's major. He's just like quarantining and resting and stuff. He has some of the symptoms, but he tested positive for COVID, so he's a lot.
Get well, friend.
Everything is on hold for that. And
I mean, we could still Skype if he's not.
Well, I asked him. I was like, we could always Zoom if you want to.
Oh, he wants to do it in person.
He wants to do it in person.
Yeah, we'll wait.
He's local.
It's not like this is the last podcast.
I was like, there's no rush. I was like, we're still working on coordinating. We have some guests that we've gotten scheduled, and some we're still coordinating. One guy, I was trying to get him in before the guy that's in Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm. And he's going on vacation?
He's going on vacation.
Yeah, I saw that.
So I'll probably do that. I'll probably get with him after the election, because I don't want to try to cram him in before that election stuff.
Yeah, I think Michael and Josh will be good election podcast people, because they're Trump through and through.
Oh yeah.
I'm telling you though, they're cool. They're so cool.
That will be interesting. I mean, that will make for interesting conversation for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm all for it, as long as even like Dom said, even though he's voting for Biden, it's like I'm not against talking to anybody that has different opposing views, if you can keep it civil and tell me why you feel the way you do.
But Michael will debate you, so it's gonna be hilarious, and I'm just gonna be like, wait, what? What did you say? What?
So I just can't say when people want to debate you, but then they overtalk you. They're not listening to why you feel what you do on certain issues or whatever. That's where it's like this. It's not a conversation. It's even somebody commented on one of Joe Rogan's older podcasts that I was watching the other day that the reason why they like him is because he's a critical thinker enough to where he'll have opinions or views on things a certain way, and he'll be able to answer to that. But he'll listen to you if you have another one, and if it's enough for him to reconsider and or change his mind, he will, and he'll admit to that. He's like, I never saw it this way, or I'll, I used to think this way, but I thought this way after talking to this person, and it makes so much sense that now I can see, and my views changed. And we don't have enough of that in this world right now.
Yeah.
Everyone
gets their feelings hurt too easily.
Yeah. So it's like, I'm all for it, if it can be that type of conversation. Because, that's how I am. I had my alarm go off for a kind of a break, if you're ready for a break.
Yeah. Let's break it out.
Break.
Cut. And
we're back.
We got some guests coming up, which we already said.
Yeah, some on the schedule, some we're still working out the schedule, but yeah, I'm excited about having people on and.
Yeah, it was fun. We got a taste of it with our little debate.
And I was happy. I was real happy with that. I was disappointed that my phone kind of cut it short. I didn't feel like we kind of got to wrap up.
I think it was good. It was short but sweet.
It was good, but that it was short and sweet. But I don't feel like it was kind of like abrasive wrap up because my phone was literally about to die. I think it died within 5 minutes after we ended the call. Which sucked because I was still stuck at the dealership and I had nothing to do because my phone was now dead.
I think everyone's favorite part of that video was you walking around like, is this a good angle?
Oh, it was
Let me
so
put
hard
it on the ground and squat in front. I'm like, Mark, what are you doing?
It was so hard to find because my arm was getting tired and it's like I don't have anywhere I could put this phone where it's gonna stay up, and yeah, that was interesting being on remote location trying to do a Skype call, but
the cool thing about Skype though is that they did blur the background, so that was kind of
fun.
I
thought you did that.
I don't know, it just
because you had started the call and I was like, I noticed it when we first got online. I was like, oh, that's cool. She zeroed us in. I thought that was you.
I just thought of something though because I was getting ready to say 512markdd. Janine's son and Josh are from Austin.
Yeah, I remember talking to her about that. Yeah. That would be cool.
Yeah, because they were giving, Michael was giving me his number, and I'm like, 512? Oh my god, like, 512markdd, like, that's full circle, like,
so
what?
Are they, so are other people that, like, watching the show, or they just, it came up and...
No, we were talking, because everyone kept talking about the podcast, like, because Karen brought it up, and then,
Karen brought it up?
Yeah. Or I told her, somehow we were talking about it, and then, Justin was there, and he was asking me about it. Justin wants to be on it, too. He wants you guys to have a Grant Cardone talk.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah. So I told him,
Justin, I miss Justin.
Yeah, he's still...
He was my boy.
Yeah, he was asking about it, and then they came out, because, like, the youngs were outside, and the adults who were inside. And so they, Janine's son and Josh came out, and they were like, well, we heard the party was outside. So then it was like, we were already talking about the podcast, and then they wanted to be on it. And I'm like, yeah. I mean, if you're serious, because if you're not serious, then
don't play that game.
And they're like, yeah, we are serious. Because, well, yeah, we don't have to get into the whole backstory, but yeah. So that'll be exciting. I got their contact info. Hopefully,
cool,
that's
cool.
soon. Even if it, like, I think definitely at least Michael would be really interesting to have on during the election podcast, because he'll talk about anything. So
that's cool.
Yeah. Fun times. Last night was really fun. But we all were social distanced, and we had our masks, and everything was perfect.
Yeah,
Ron DeSantis doesn't care, so.
Yeah, he's a Trump boy, though. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I mean, in some ways, I kind of like Ron DeSantis, but...
Ron DeSantis is a one... Has he only been in for one term, right?
Yeah, I think so.
He's a one-term gov. He'll be out next. There's no way he won't be. There's no way.
I don't know. I mean, anything can happen, but I do...
I mean, it is a Republican state, so maybe that's not the case, but, I mean, the way he handles some stuff, yeah.
When I followed a whole lot of politics and politicians and different stuff like that on Twitter, and that was the old separate Twitter account that I had. That is no more anyway. He was one of the ones that I followed, and yeah, he didn't get a lot of love.
Yeah, I know.
So
I thought for sure Andrew was gonna win, and then apparently something happened where he was like in a hotel with a transgender person, and that's what I heard. That's
you know who I do like is the mayor, because she's not
Jen Castor.
Yeah, because she's very
Chad Chronister.
She's very I like him too, but I like her because she doesn't. You know, she's been there at least when Corona was really going on and first started and all that, and you know everything was getting politicized, and you know she was doing an interview where like the person doing the interview and the reporters or whatever like kept pressing her and giving her all opportunities to like talk bad about Ron DeSantis and Republicans and all that. And she's like, would you stop bringing that? I'm not going to change my answer. I'm not going to play that game. And I was like, good for you. Like. I like politicians that aren't going to be like, you know, they have their stance and others have their stance, and they're like not going to turn it into a battle. It's like that's what we need more of, I think.
Yeah.
Compromise. Like, it's just compromise. That's all it is. And I'm excited. I like Raze. Raze made it to, they're continuing on down
and
the baseball playoffs.
Won.
Lightning won. Yeah, and you can tell in the phone call, the Skype phone call, I was still wearing my Raze hat because they had the game that day. But they won that other game, so they made it through the wild card. Now they're up against the Yankees. First game tomorrow.
A-Rod.
Yeah, he doesn't play anymore.
Yeah, but
J-Lo's boy. He
Yeah.
doesn't play no more.
Did you see that
He's
video?
too busy being her boy now.
Yeah, did you see that video where he's like at the dentist office or something, and this girl's like, "You kind of look like that guy that J-Lo's dating," and he's like,
No, I haven't seen that.
What's his name? And she's like, "I don't know, like whatever." And he's like, "Oh, Google it. I'll Google it too." So she pulls up the picture and she puts it, and she's like, "Yeah, you really do kind of look like him." And he's like, "Really? I don't. He looks kind of stiff to me. Like he looks." She's like, "No, you like look like him. Like, has anyone ever told you that?" And then he's like, "Well, actually, I am." And she's like, "Oh yeah."
Is that like a skit or something?
No, it's like a real video that actually happened. It's a real thing. Yeah, it was interesting.
Well, that is interesting. I haven't seen that. I've seen him do like videos and stuff.
Yeah,
But,
he is J-Lo's boy.
he's J-Lo's boy. That's all I can see him as now. Like, I don't see him doing much of anything baseball related or anything anymore other than like he's in commercials and stuff with J-Lo all the time with whatever she's promoting.
Hey, live the life, bud.
That's it, man. You made it. You retired.
Yeah,
Do
what
you.
you do.
Do you. I don't know about this. I mean, the thing I like about that sleep aid that I tried last night, it did help me sleep, and I like that I'm not groggy. I didn't get a full night's sleep, but I think that's partly
He's
because
talking
my
about
mind,
the energy drink
Yeah.
for people who cannot see. Okay.
Yeah, oh yeah, if you can't see. Yeah, I'm back to the Raze Energy stuff. But the nights, it helped me sleep, or fall asleep, but I didn't get a full night's sleep, but I only took half of it. I think that's partly because I only took half, and partly because some nights it doesn't matter, because it happens when I take melatonin too. Like my brain just doesn't shut up. And I hate that, because like something, I'll get up to like pee or whatever, and then something makes me think of something, and then by the time I'm laying back in bed, like my mind is just like going down this rabbit hole, and I'll lay there like, shut up, like shut up.
Can I just get some sleep, bro?
So, but I don't feel groggy, so that is one good thing. Like melatonin, sometimes it'll make me feel groggy the next day. But this isn't quite the punch in the face that Monster is to me sometimes. But I don't know, this is that powder stuff, so like you mix with water. Maybe their canned stuff. I have some of their cans in the fridge. Maybe that will be.
Yeah.
I need that punch in the face. Like sometimes when if coffee's not enough, and I'm gonna have an energy drink instead of coffee, I need that like slap in the face to like, at least, and then I can like start toning down the caffeine from there.
Yeah, no, I don't drink energy drinks or coffee.
El Natural.
I can't drink coffee, actually. It, like, breaks my face out really bad.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you like allergic to something?
I don't know if allergic is the word. Like, it has something to do with your thyroid.
Oh.
Yeah. So it just like this whole, like the sides of my face just get really bad. It's gross. So I just don't drink it. Plus I don't really need it. Like when we had Dunkachinos, remember our Dunkachinos?
Yeah.
It's hot chocolate, and then instead of like water or milk, you put coffee in there. I seem to be fine with that, but like just like drinking a lot of coffee all the time, I can't do it. So I don't even know the last time I had coffee.
I have coffee almost every day. If I don't, it's either Monster or coffee. Generally, if I have a Monster, then I don't have coffee. I'll have a Monster and then I'll drink water the rest of the day. The only time I have both is Saturdays, because Friday nights are so late. Like I literally get home like 1:30. By the time I get like cleaned up and fall asleep, it's almost 2, and then I wake up at 6 to work the next day for 10 hours. So it's like those Saturdays I have a Monster, and after I have the Monster I have like 2 cups of coffee, and then the rest of the day it's water to kind of start winding back down. Saturdays are long days.
Yeah, but I've never actually had an energy drink before, ever.
I do. I love them when I'm extremely tired.
I'm just scared.
Like, I'll buy a case and it'll last me forever because I don't drink them but twice a week, maybe 3 times a week.
I just think I'll be like.
And you probably will, at least the first time, because it's just so much caffeine and whatever else they put in there.
Yeah, no, oh my god.
When I was in high school, because I had to work, as soon as before I was 16 even, I was working, but when I was 16, got a real job, I was working, and I was working a lot of late nights and stuff, because I had nothing. So that's how I survived and paid for my clothes and food and everything else was. And I would take back then they had, I don't know if they're still around, but they had like no-dose, which were caffeine pills.
Oh.
And I would, because at that time I wasn't really into coffee. I'd have it every now and then.
So you're a caffeine addict.
I'm a caffeine addict.
Wow.
Big time. And like now I'm just probably so dependent on it.
Yeah,
I don't know,
you'd suffer from withdrawals if you didn't. Withdrawals aren't a joke, though.
But I would take no-dose because I wouldn't drink coffee, and no-dose was like basically caffeine pills that had like twice the amount of.
Credit card.
Oh, good job! Don't spend too much money on the credit card. It's Monopoly credit cards, everybody, not real. Calm down. I would take that, and I would literally during like homeroom, and they're showing like the little news shows or whatever. Did y'all have that? Channel 1, I think it was called.
We did in high school, yeah.
Yeah. And I would feel like my heart felt like it was gonna beat out of my chest.
Wow.
Because I'm taking like way more than caffeine than a 16-year-old should. But that's how I got through the day.
Did you ever do that thing in school where because my desk was always towards the window most of the time, so I just pretend like I was looking out the window, but really I'm like.
No, but I did have a teacher. I think she was my senior year, that she would allow, if she knew that you were a working student for whatever reason, and you had a late night job or whatever, she would, if you fell asleep, she would let you doze off a little bit.
I remember.
So somebody was like, oh, he's sleeping. She'd be like, he has a job. I'll let him sleep for a few minutes.
Oh my god. When I was telling you the story about the window, it reminded me of, there's this guy that I liked in middle school, Derek DeSense.
God, you remember his name?
I remember his whole name. DGD. And if you watch this, do not judge me, Derek. Like, I was like 12. But anyways, in 7th grade, he sat in front of me in math class. And one day I was just sleeping, and he's like, Raven, you're sleeping. I'm like, no, I'm not. He's like, you were snoring. You're like, oh. And I'm like, I don't even snore, so I don't even know why you said that, but like, I don't snore, so I don't believe you. And because like he's like the hottest guy in school, and I'm like, I fucking snore, Derek. What are you talking about? But yeah, that was fun. That was a fun time. Like, just imagine learning that you snore from like that. Just from that. Just picture like your biggest crush as a kid calling you out like that.
I snore so bad, like it would be.
I
do too.
Yeah.
I do too. It drives my wife crazy. But I have to be really tired, and there has to be a lot going on in my life for me to talk in my sleep. So it's usually involved in that. Like I'm having a stressful dream.
My mom says crazy stuff in her sleep.
My mom will be like, or not my mom, my wife. You talked in your sleep last night. It's waking me up. Sometimes she'll wake me up. She'll be like, shut up. I'm like, what? So you're talking in your sleep.
I remember one time we went to I'm pretty sure we went to in Ohio they have indoor water parks, and there's a hotel attached. So we were staying at the hotel, and my mom was like, he forgot his lunchbox, and we're like, what lunchbox, Mom? We're egging her on, just like, his Scooby-Doo lunchbox, he forgot it. It's in the break room. I saw him eating out of it. I'm like, what are you talking? Who? Fred, his Scooby-Doo lunchbox. He had a bologna sandwich. I'm like, what? And so sometimes you can drag it out, but it ends at a point. But that was the funniest. We're like, what are you even talking about?
My wife she'll tell me sometimes, you said this, or what were you having a dream about? You're saying the craziest stuff. But I also cry in my sleep. In fact, that's pretty much the only time I cry now.
Really?
Yeah, I can't cry anymore. It's weird. Like, since I came back from Iraq, like, the only time I would cry is if I was drunk, which I don't drink to get drunk anymore. Like, at most, if I get a buzz, I'll stop, because there's a high risk if I get drunk, especially too drunk. I mean, crying will be the best thing that happens. Like, my PTSD will kick in, and I've gone through phases where I almost got arrested. So it's like, yeah,
I've heard this.
Oh yeah, you have. So I don't get drunk anymore. I can't remember the last time I got drunk. But sometimes I'll cry in my sleep if I have a bad dream. But and I feel horrible because I've gone to funerals and it's like a packed church and I'm the only person, and I'm like severely affected by the person that passed away. Like, it's not somebody, just an acquaintance. It's like a family member, like major, major loss, and I'm literally the only person in the church not crying. And it's like, I want to cry, but like, it just doesn't work.
Doesn't happen.
If I sleep and dream about it, I'll cry. And my wife will be.
Do you remember your dreams?
Only if they're severe enough, or especially if it's something that like wakes me up, or.
I remember most of my dreams because they're all crazy. They make no sense.
A lot of times I don't remember my dreams, but sometimes I do.
I've been having a lot of dreams with like the entire cast of all of my years in school, but for some reason we're all at middle school. So like we're all our current age, but we're in middle school, and it's so weird. Like this stuff, like it's like there's a lockdown, and you need to go to the fire drill tornado, and I'm like, what is happening? Except for in the middle of the school, there's like this giant pool, like a swimming pool, where the gym was. I don't know, my dreams are weird. The lunch lady got pregnant. I'm like,
your dreams also come true, which is weird.
Yeah, a lot of them do. If I have dreams about like current events, they come true.
There's sometimes where I'll have like deja vu or whatever, and I'm like, maybe I just dreamed about this and it's coming true. It's like, I don't know. But if any of my dreams come true, I don't know. Most of them are like either too random, like so random that it's never gonna come true, or so sad that it's like, God, I hope they never come true.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when I was young, like really little, when my great grandma died. Like a few weeks before, I was supposed to go to Florida, but right before I left for Florida, I had the dream of like a skeleton, like a skeleton head in a campfire, and I was spending the night at my grandma's house, and I woke up and I was crying, and she's like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "I saw like grandma died, like, because it's her mom." And then I went to Florida, and I'm pretty sure when I was in Florida she died, and then when I went back up, obviously she was dead. But yeah, I just have that, like, I've predicted a few people's deaths. That's why, like, whenever I have a dream about, like, my mom dying, which I've only had 3, and they're all really stupid, like, do you want me to tell you one of them? It's not bad. It's not crazy. There's this, like, it used to be a Toys R Us in Springfield, which is where I'm from, and there's this, like, road that's really high above the Toys R Us is kind of down. But there's this giant, like, Clifford the Big Red Dog-sized golden retriever that attacked our van because we used to have this white minivan, and it, like, ripped her out. And I've had this dream since I was, like, 8. I've had it multiple times.
Really?
But it's such a weird dream to have. But, yeah, anytime I have a dream my mom died, I, like, freak out.
I used to have recurring nightmares of falling, like, just...
Red Dog, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Clifford Red Dog. She knows Clifford. You know Clifford? That was a yes. She shook her head. Well, you said something that made me think. Oh, you know what? It's when I was really like, I guess, I don't know what you would say, dealing with or getting a handle on like PTSD and stuff. Mm-hmm. And they prescribed me anxiety medication, which honestly, like, I didn't really realize I had it until I literally felt so much anxiety about taking anxiety medication. Mm-hmm. Like, because it was weird. Like, but the other thing that she prescribed on was sleeping pills, mm-hmm. which I've never really been I like the idea of taking them because I took them, they were prescribed to me, like, when I was in high school. Like, I had sleeping issues when I was in high school, like insomnia, for almost like a year. Like, I got like no sleep, it felt like. And then so the doctor eventually prescribed medication, and then I got like dependent on that. Mm-hmm.
That's what I hear a
I find
lot
it hard
from people.
for when people say, "Oh, it's not addictive" or "not a habit forming." It's like, how can you say when if you give somebody that's having total issues about falling asleep, and you give them something to help them fall asleep, how is that not a habit right then and there?
Yeah.
Like the second they take one and it helps them sleep, they'll never feel like they can fall asleep without it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's, I don't know how it's possible how that doesn't form a habit, but maybe it doesn't. I don't know. But when I was like severe, like working out my issues, the therapist prescribed sleeping pill, and I forget what kind it was, but it was like I told my sister about it, and she for other issues had taken it before, and she's like, don't take that. Like if you're already having bad dreams and stuff, this will it makes your dreams. It doesn't like kind of control your dreams, but it makes them so livid, like so real. It will, it can cause sleepwalking, all kinds of crazy stuff. She's like, if I were you, I wouldn't take that. It's like, well, I wasn't going to take it anyway because I don't like taking sleeping pills of any kind, but I'm sure as hell not going to take something that's going to make my dreams more livid if I'm already having bad dreams.
Yeah, I would. No.
But, since then, I don't, every now and then I'll have a dream. It's usually something random that's about whatever's going on in my life, and it'll either cause me to talk in my sleep or cry. But most of the time I don't remember them.
I think I talk in my sleep because I just talk so much that it just runs over. Just like
that could be true for me too. I don't know.
Yeah, that's my theory. Like
I definitely know I'm a snorer, and I've always been a snorer. And it was so much so that even when I was like in the dating world, I'd have to disclose it before we went to bed. It's like, FYI, I'm a horrible snorer. Like I felt responsible to let the girl know, like I'm gonna snore really bad.
I snore like a train. I'm just like, yeah, it's fun.
But other than that, I can't think of anything else. That's kind of a random
dream segment
segue we got into there.
Yeah. I do have another really weird dream that I have a lot. It's like, have you ever seen Annie, the original Annie?
The original? Yeah.
The movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the cast of that, and they're all pirates on a pirate ship. Yeah.
That's random.
That's the dream. And like I'm in it, obviously, and my sister and my brother and my mom. And we're just like trying to help Annie. It's like a weird dream. But my mom is Mrs. Hannigan. And like, I guess we're the orphans. But Annie's in it too. But like, she's still our mom. So it's like a confusing thing. Like maybe we're just helping her run the orphanage. I don't know. But I'm telling you, I have crazy dreams. Like I need to write them down because I could make so many good movies off of my dreams.
Yeah.
They're like
some
insane.
Good movies, some good skits, stuff like that. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, my dreams are.
You should write them down.
I've gotten so many dream journals, but like I don't wake up and I'm like, though in my phone I do. Sometimes I wake up and I just voice text the main points so I don't forget. So I'm just like, kid walking down the hall, then the kid turned left. Da, 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 da. Like I do have some of those in here.
Interesting. I do. You had a dream about our show. I like that one. That was a good dream. You tell me about it.
I'm telling you, my dreams are pretty good.
I'm also pretty amazed by, which I've never been able to do, ever, that you seem to have the ability, I can figure from texting you at different times of the day where you're like, yeah, I'll do it when I'm going to go back to sleep and I'll do it later when I wake back up. Like really? It's so random. Like you wake up at 8 o'clock and like respond to a text and be like, yeah, I'll do it later. I'm going back to bed.
Because I told you your ringtone is loud as hell.
I can't do that when I you still haven't silence that. Put it on do not disturb when you go to sleep.
No, because what if
because
it's important?
if I don't do it like when you're lucky too because I'll think about it like at 5 a.m. when I get up and start getting everything ready, but I'll be like, oh, I'll wait till I get back from dropping Melody off at the babysitter and start logging onto my computer and then I'll text her because by then it's like 7 o'clock.
Yeah, because I always wake up to like 100 things
early,
for me. Like I was not expecting a merch drop yesterday. I was just like, oh, cool.
Like if I don't do it, if I don't tell you about it while I'm thinking about it, I'll completely forget. So it's like I send a text. But I always think about that now since last time. They're like, well, I hope I don't wake her up or whatever. But I'm like, well, she should just silence my damn ringtone.
Yeah.
Or put me on Do Not Disturb if I'm waking her up when I text her. Because I'm just...
Well, no, I can go back to sleep like that.
I'm a morning person, but I'm not. like, I'm a morning person because I'm forced to be.
Mhm.
So it's like, when I'm up, I'm up. But I've always been that way forever. Like,
Well, I stay up really late, like most times.
Even when I stayed up real late, but if something woke me up, or I woke up just naturally at 8 o'clock, that's it, I'm up.
That's how Dom is. If I wake him up, like, to take, because when I leave, he walks me out. But if I wake him up, then sometimes he can't go back to sleep. I'm just like, that's like, so weird.
I might get a nap in later, but I'm not going to be able to go back to sleep right after that. Like, I'm up and a lot of it is because usually when I wake up, if I wake up enough, like, and I say, like, wake up enough, like, I'm enough awake that my brain turns on, then forget about it. Forget about it. I'm not going to fall back asleep. I mean, last night was proof of that. Like, so sometimes, like, if something wakes me up, or if it's melody, like, you know, coming into the bed or something like that, then I'll wake up enough to, like, get her to, you know, come into our room or whatever. But I'll literally try to keep my eyes closed and, like, keep my mind shut off so it doesn't turn on. Because if it turns on, I can't go back to sleep. Not for a couple hours, and it just fucks up my whole day. But sometimes I get a lot of stuff done, or I think of different stuff, like if my mind's turned on, and like so much, like even when we filmed the intro and took those pictures and all that, all that was done at like 4 a.m.
Oh yeah, I know you did that because I woke up to the picture.
Really? Did you really, or you just like recurring your role in the show?
You did.
Fart.
You silly.
It's a one fart like this.
Oh, just one like poof. That's a good fart. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I did the whole pictures and the video intro and all that stuff at like 4 a.m. because I think I knew I was gonna get it done that day. That go, you know, go. If you need to go, go. You're a big girl. And I think that's what that day was. It wasn't that my mind went shut off. It's just like, how am I going to do it? When am I going to find time to do it? That once I was awake and my wife left for work, because she leaves at like 4:30 or whatever, and I'm like, oh, Melody's asleep, I'll just do it right now. And you can kind of tell, like, especially in the black and white, there's circles under my eyes, like, it's 4 a.m. Like,
oh no, I never noticed that.
You know, I can, because I watch that clip every time during the intro. It's like I can feel how tired I was when I was doing it.
Oh,
but
really?
But I was wide awake. Like, I was tired, but I was wide awake.
Radio.
Yeah.
Radio. Natalie FaceTimed me the other day, and she's like, why were you making Mark say Jesus Christ so much? Why are you picking on him? I'm like, I'm not. It's just funny. It's just funny.
I don't take that as picking on me. No, it's just a thing. Jesus Christ.
Hobo Johnson has a song called Jesus Christ.
I saw that.
Did you listen to it?
Not yet. It popped up on, I think, my YouTube.
Yeah. It's like, Jesus Christ is super nice. Something.
I listened to him on my SoundCloud the other day, too.
Now
that I'm paying for SoundCloud, a whole bunch of different stuff opens up. It's kind of cool. Like stuff that usually you only got like a little clip of the song or whatever if you had the free version. So it's like...
I honestly didn't know that SoundCloud had podcasts too until you got it.
Some people, not a lot. I don't think a lot of people post on there. But some.
Maybe we can be SoundCloud elite.
Maybe, one day. I don't know, I'm happy with Anchor though because they distribute out so well.
Oh, I don't mean exclusive. I mean...
Oh, elite, yeah, okay.
No.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
No, I have no problems with Anchor. They do a good job.
Yeah, SoundCloud would have to pay us some money, like Joe Rogan money, to be exclusive, I think.
I don't think
that would happen.
Honestly,
I don't think SoundCloud has that kind of money.
Honestly, I mean, that's a big number, but also I don't really want to be exclusive. I don't. Because then it's like, it's inconvenient for people to listen, you know? Yeah. Like, if Joe wasn't on YouTube, I wouldn't download Spotify just to listen, because I don't like Spotify.
I don't know.
Spotify's okay. But
I'm still getting them on my Apple Podcast, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I checked since, like, he made the deal, and, like, am I not... But I still get his new episodes. most of the time now, lately, I've been listening to him on YouTube. I listen to like an episode a day.
Ooh, sorry.
And then because I stopped listening to him while I'm delivering because there's other stuff I want to listen to, like either new
Is there
music.
any podcast that you would recommend besides Bobby Bones to like other people?
None that I've checked out yet, but I did subscribe to Gary Vee and Ben Brown.
See, I don't know if Gary Vee is legit, so like I'm just like, eh.
I haven't listened to any of his podcasts yet, so I don't know.
I want to find like some.
But I do like at least,
podcasts.
you know, if I go back to the beginning of his stuff when he started doing them, they're only like 8 or 9 minutes long. So I'm like, I like that because I can, you know, short. I don't mind longer stuff. It gives me more to listen to while I'm driving around and stuff. But I also like short stuff because you can get more. I can listen to more episodes.
Yeah.
If I'm, you know, doing it back to back like that. So it all depends. I've been recently, like Friday night, I listened to Joe Rogan during the day on Friday because I wanted to listen. My idea was I'll listen to other podcasts and like Gary Vee and stuff when I'm delivering. But by the time it came time to deliver, I was like, I want to listen to music. So I just like, I've recently got into like EDM. I've been listening to a lot of EDM lately.
Really?
Yeah, and like Friday night, that's all I listen to all night. Like, and I like their like SoundCloud will have like different playlists and some old BBC One essential mixes, which are pretty awesome. Like they're like 2 hours long of just you know, this whole mix of different like, and that's kind of I guess why I got into it because it just makes my night go by. It's just like seamless, you know, for 2 hours. But I've been listening to a lot of. Yesterday while I was working, I pulled up an EDM. Like I don't know if you call it a station or channel or whatever on SoundCloud. It's called EDM.com, and they were just because I want to listen to newer stuff, and they were playing actual songs from artists, like. So it's just song after song stuff. It's like I feel I'm late to gaming a lot of stuff in life, and I feel like I was like, here I am in my 40s getting into EDM.
You're getting enlightened.
But yeah, I'm all open to new stuff all the time too. Yeah. So it's like I don't know. That's why I tweeted. It's like I think I'm getting into my EDM phase now. It's like
I honestly have not been on Twitter that much. I only go on if I post something. Well, my stomach was hurting me a lot last week, so I kind of just like went to bed when I got home. But yeah, I haven't been on social media that much at all.
I thought about when I like tweeted you about that pizza chili sandwich thing or whatever, that yeah, you would have to try that. I can't try that. I can't, because you made me think of it actually when you were talking about not really being allergic to coffee, but why you don't drink. It's like I don't think I'm officially like, I don't know if it's a gluten allergy or that, what's it called, Crohn's disease or whatever.
No.
But I have no like
celiac.
Yeah, my stomach was having like issues when I was eating different things, and I was trying to cut out junk food and stuff, but I was still like, even if I had a sandwich or something, then I was still like feeling an upset stomach. So I talked to my sister about it. She's like, cut out anything with gluten and see if that helps. And so I did, and I haven't had really any stomach issues. So I think I might have a gluten allergy, but I need to go to the doctor to be sure.
It looked interesting. Yeah, I saw spaghetti.
Yeah, I couldn't eat that because of the pizza and stuff. My stomach hurts now just thinking about it. And it sucks, especially working at a pizza place and like you get hungry and there's leftover pizza.
Really?
It's like, and it seemed like it came out of nowhere because I used to could just, you know, eat while I was at work, and now it's like, oh, can't eat that unless I want to feel like shit for like 4 hours afterwards. And it's not even like people that are allergic to gluten, because I've read about it, is like, it's not even that it feels like crap. It's literally could kill you because it's your intestines or whatever just like fighting itself.
Yeah.
Because it's attacking the gluten, so it's attacking itself, and like if you do it enough and don't stop, it can kill you ultimately.
Yeah, today's the first day in like a week that my stomach hasn't hurt. So I guess I partied enough to make it go away. Woo!
I half expected you to watch the season premiere of SNL last night.
I don't have cable.
NBC is just antenna. You don't have to have cable to watch it.
Normally, actually, how I do it though, unless I'm at my mom's house, is I watch all the clips the next day. Was it live? Like actually in studio?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
That was a big season premiere. It's Chris Rock and Megan Thee Stallion.
Megan Thee Stallion. Yeah. I'll have to watch that today. Hopefully it's up. But that is normally how I do it. I watch the clips after. No commercials. Because I have YouTube Premium. No commercials.
I downloaded the Peacock. I already had NBC, but I downloaded Peacock on my Roku.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they show clips of that stuff on there too. I used to watch SNL all the time. Things change when you have kids.
Am I right?
Like your whole... I miss being able to like do stuff or watch TV, but I mean it's worth it, but it definitely changes. It's just not like my priority anymore.
Yeah. I'm watching The Handmaid's Tale, which is the show I was telling you about.
Yeah.
I had only watched like 3 or 4 episodes, so I started watching it again. And I told Deneen that I started watching it again, and she's like, "Yeah, I saw," because I have her Hulu. And she's always watching CSI. I don't know why. I don't know if it's CSI or Criminal Minds, but every time I get off and then the next day I get back on, it's like, you have watched 100 episodes of CSI. I'm like, but she's one of those people who has to have something on the TV to fall asleep.
Oh.
So
I can't do that. It keeps me up.
Yeah, I have to. It has to be dark. But sometimes I get scared in the middle of the night, like recently, and I'm like, a ghost! Alexa, turn on all the lights.
I used to not be able to watch like scary stuff before I went to bed, otherwise I wouldn't sleep.
The only movie that actually like made me scared was The Conjuring 2. There's like this really creepy nun. What's the name? I can't remember the name. I'm gonna Google creepy nun from...
You know what, the video that even now still kind of freaks me out just to think about it. Have you ever seen a video of the guy that kept noticing food and stuff in his fridge go missing? And he was blaming his girlfriend.
And it was in his attic?
The girl was living in his attic or ceiling or whatever.
I've heard a story similar.
And like he sets up the camera and then you could see her crawling down in the middle of the night. Like that shit freaks me out. Like freaks me out. Like he watches the video and then like gets so freaked out he runs out of his apartment and calls the cops. And like it's like there's even the cops couldn't figure out how she got in there because there's no
Wait,
outside.
it's a real story?
Yeah, supposedly. But there's no like outside way into that. But she had this whole setup, like a little area where she's sleeping and other stuff where she was like, and then she would sneak out during the day and like eat and drink and use the bathroom and stuff while he was asleep.
That's weird. Well, I've heard a similar story, except for it was a guy, and he was watching this like young girl sleep in like the family house, and she said she could see eyes in the vent. Or she thought she could. And then one day she smelled the smell and he had died up there. So I freaked my sister out with that story. Because she's like, I heard something. Because the attic entrance, one of them is in my old bedroom in my closet. And her bedroom is like... Our closets are basically touching. Her bedroom's like this, my bedroom's like this, and our closet is in the corner. So I'm like, oh my god, there might be someone in the attic watching you. And my mom's like, really, Raven? Like, now I'm gonna have to deal with that?
I saw I don't know what, one of those crime type TV shows or whatever where that's how the dude killed one of his neighbors in an apartment complex. Is he got into the ceiling through his closet and crawled across the building to hers and came down. Because for a while they couldn't figure out how anybody got, because there's no sign of forced entry and all kinds of stuff, but obviously there was a struggle and she had died. But yeah, that's how they eventually found out. I forget what, they found something in the closet or something where they saw, and so they, opened it back up, and the detective poked his head up there and could see like the path where the guy had because the insulation stuff had been kind of pressed down, so he followed it. And then found that guy's apartment, which were kind of was a person of interest, not a suspect, but a person of interest because
Yikes.
he had, I guess, run-ins with her or been kind of obsessed with her or whatever. But they had no proof until they found that. It's like that's crazy. Like, let alone you have to worry about people breaking in through like your window or whatever, but crawling in through the attic, that's crazy. But
Scary stories.
it is scary stories.
There's this book called Haunted Ohio. There's a bunch of them, but I remember middle school, like, all the cool people would get it. Like, oh, yeah, I'm reading this, I'm so cool. Like, nothing scares me, Haunted Ohio. But there are some scary stories in there. There's this place called Yellow Springs, and there's, like, a haunted hotel or whatever. And, like, the lady would stand in the window. So anytime you drove through Yellow Springs, you, like, looked to see if you could see the lady in the window.
Do you believe all that?
In ghosts? Yeah. I've seen a ghost before.
I do. I believe it. Some of us in my family believe that one of the houses that we lived in when we were growing up, and I guess I would say like it was the main house. It was the one we lived at for the longest, and at least because I have 5 sisters and a brother, or 4 sisters and a brother. There's 6 of us total. So that was the one that at least at all points, because the older siblings are like 10 years older than the younger. So there's a gap. So that was the house that we lived at the longest, that at least all of us at some point had lived in that house as kids.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, I guess, our main house or whatever. But that one, like almost all of us, especially me and my twin sister and my older sister, the younger set, swear that house is haunted. Because so much stuff happened weird in that house and it's like true. Like my brother, he'll tell this story all the time. And it'll come up. I don't remember a whole lot of it now because I was little. I remember pieces. But there was this night, true story, and we can end it here so we can freak everybody out because I'm kind of running out of stuff to talk about.
Okay.
But there was this night that my parents would go out and have date night or whatever, and usually one of my older siblings would come back over and watch us. And I don't know if my older sisters, my oldest 2 sets of twins in the house or in the family, just to explain, my 2 older sisters are twins. Not identical. Then my brother's 3 years younger than them. Mm-hmm. Then 7 years later is my older sister, and then me, my twin sister.
Oh.
So 6 kids, almost 10 years gap between the first 3 and the second 3. It's just kind of weird how it worked out. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so I can't remember if my older sisters were still in high school at then, or they were out of the house and just would come over, but they were there, and my brother was there. I know at least he was still in high school, and they were watching us while my parents went out to eat and have a date night. And we would always, the younger 3 would sleep in my parents' bed when they would go out, because they had a big king bed, and it was just, parents were home, so we'd all go to bed together in my big king bed. And story goes, my older sister, Misty, the one that wrote the book, she wakes up and can hear me crying, but can't see me and find me. And I had gone to bed for whatever reason on like a pallet and blanket on the floor next to the bed. And she can't find me. She's like, "Where are you? Where are you?" And I'm like, I don't know if I remember it from remembering it or just from the story, but she wakes up and I'm crying and she's like, "Where are you? Where are you?" Like, and I realize I'm underneath the bed. But I'm not just underneath the bed like I rolled underneath the bed. Like, I'm underneath the bed, the middle of the bed. My brother, so she gets my brother, he comes in, he can't see me or get to me from underneath the bed. So he gets my sisters, he needs their help to lift the mattress and everything else like that to get to me. And they swear, and if there was digital cameras and stuff like that, they would have taken a picture. But I guess we didn't have a Polaroid and nobody thought about taking a picture. But he says, he's like, I'll never forget it. They lifted up the mattress, and I'm in the bed, and everything that my parents had, stored underneath the bed, shoe boxes, all kinds of crap, was all around me. Like, when I got out of the bed, you could see the shape of where I had been. He's like, how the fuck did that happen? Like, and all my twin sister, I don't think they really remember it, but my older siblings, especially my brother, he's like, he'll tell the story and get goosebumps. Like, it was the craziest thing.
That's
And we were all up
creepy.
like that. And I remember waking up, and I was partly why I was crying was when I realized underneath the bed. I realized I was underneath the bed. I was crying because my older brother, being the older brother that he is, when we had one of our pets die, and he said, "Oh, mom and dad put in a shoebox underneath the bed." So I thought I was underneath there with a dead cat.
Oh my god.
Which was not true.
Yikes.
And, but I did have, like, hair and stuff in my throat when I woke up. And, like, they're, like, having me drink water to, like, wash it down and stuff. And I had literally, like, they had literally just kind of got me out of the bed and started putting the kind of bed back together and trying to talk about what happened when my parents got home. And they're like, what are y'all doing up? What are y'all doing up? And, like, my older siblings are trying, like, telling them the story, trying to come across, like, we're not just making this shit up. Like, this is
legit.
This is legit just happened, and we're kind of freaking out about it. But yeah, and there was other stuff too. Like my sister woke up at one point with, I think she says it was like heads that were floating in the room. What woke her up wasn't just like she just woke up. She woke up like somebody was taking the sheet and like when you're kind of making the bed and like flinging it out or whatever, doing that to her sheet. Like her sheet was like kind of like
no.
And there's some different stuff where the doors slammed, the different stuff when we were home. But yeah, we pretty much each one of us, for whatever reason, something weird happened, and we all swear that house is haunted.
That is creepy.
So now when we're in that home small town, which is rare now because nobody lives there, and my grandparents have passed away, that was really the only reason we go to that small town anymore. But we don't always drive past the house and be like, wonder if they're having the same shit that we did. If the house is really haunted, or if it was just like us. But yeah, legit weird shit happened in that house. So for that, yeah, I 100% believe. And my mom, being the kind of strange individual that she is and was at that time, especially when she was like coherent, she believes in like aliens and stuff, which I legit believe too. There's no way in hell we're the only beings in the universe.
Lizard people.
But she would say like, oh, it's aliens or whatever. Like one of her theories was, as I got older, which still freaked me out, even though it had been like 10 years since it happened. And when it come back up, one of her theories was she thinks it was an alien had, maybe the aliens had taken me to like experiment or whatever, and when they were teleporting me back or whatever, they missed their target. Instead of putting me next to the bed, I came back underneath the bed. And I was like, thanks, Mom. Thanks for freaking me even. Not only do we worry about ghosts now, we worry about fucking aliens. Thanks, Mom.
That explains the shirt. That explains the alien green shirt.
Like, weird shit. Like, yeah, my family's weird. We're weird.
I'd freak out, too.
It makes me think that, yeah, there's more to this universe for real. There's ghosts. There's aliens for real.
Oh, I've seen the ghost with my own eyes. I believe you.
So, yeah, thank God I didn't see anything, but I sure as hell experienced it. But yeah, ask any of my siblings and they'll remember it.
So if you guys would like some more spooky stories, please let us know.
Yes, join us next time for Ghost Stories with
Mark and Raven, 512, TheRaveWave. That's it.
That's it.
That's all we got.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Goodbye.
Join us next week for our first guest.
Yeah, bye.